This is the third video in my exclusive trilogy looking at Paramount after talking to a very high up source within Skydance. They've told me about cancelling Star Trek. They've told me about big plans for Paramount to make Paramount the profitable behemoth of cinema that it once was. But they've also told me about their fears and how they think that they might not actually get their hands on Paramount and what they're going to do if this drags on much longer. Welcome to the Tachyon podcast. So, Skydance have agreed a deal with Paramount. Now, there have been some problems. Cherie Redstone, the lady that owned Paramount, well, basically she owned National Amusements, which owned the controlling shares of Paramount. She has sold her controlling shares of National Amusements to the Skydance people. National Amusements will then buy Skydance and they'll merge. So, effectively, they're buying Paramount through the back door. Or they're buying the controlling shares. The problem is, what Cherie Redstone did was she picked the offer that was better for her and not so good for the other shareholders. So the other shareholders have gone, hold it, wait one moment. That other deal would have been better for us. And Cherie Redstone's there going, okay, this deal's better for me. So they have tried to take her to court. I'm being told that those court hearings are really, they're moving forwards, but they're not really going to go anywhere. Because it does come down to a very simple rule that Cherie Redstone can sell her shares to whoever the bloody hell she likes. And there's not really a lot anybody can do about that. At most, these people that say that they've been financially harmed by the other deal being ignored might fight to get a little bit of compensation. But that will be about it. Those court hearings aren't the problem. Donald Trump and the current administration is. So this deal is currently going through the FCC, but it was expected to be done by now. It was actually expected to be done late spring, early summer, so June at the absolute latest. But it's not. And it's been dragging its feet. The FCC director, who is a Donald Trump appointee, has actually basically come out and said, you companies that are still doing DEI, discrimination, equality and inclusive policies, DEIA normally, but they'd like to drop the A off because that's to do with disabled people and accessibility. And I think even Republicans are there going, people might not like us like attacking disabled people. Maybe we should just, attack the foreigners. Oh, I let a bit of politics slip through there. Sorry. What the FCC has basically said, though, is that, politically, if your company is more in line with us, then it's more likely to go through the FCC. It was not a subtle threat, and I'm being told actually that behind closed doors they were more direct, and that actually through conversations the FCC have made it very clear that a company with DEI, etc., and more liberal views in certain things will be frowned upon. And basically Paramount the FCC have got them by the short and curlies because they can actually prevent this deal going through, and kind of have done so already a little bit, or at very least slowed it down significantly. Now, I got told exclusively a little while ago that that's one of the reasons why Strange New Worlds has been delayed for so long. Part of it is just because they want to make sure it's not going up against anything else, like, The Last of Us or something like that. They want to give it a good chance of doing well, so they've picked a time that it can go through. But it was supposed to actually be on our screens about 6 months ago. They finished filming well over a year ago, and it only takes about 6 months to actually do the post-production. What delayed it? After President Trump came in January, it was made clear to them through the FCC that they needed to be a little bit more politically aware with some of their TV shows. And I'm being told that actually Strange New Worlds was sort of picked on as an example of a TV show that they felt should express those opinions or have not expressed those opinions and been woke in the past, and that it would be in Paramount's best interests to make some changes. I'm being told that they edited a few storylines and changed a few things here and there to make them less pointedly critical of Republican, MAGA, whatever views. To be a bit less woke, basically. So, I actually don't think many people will complain about that. Even I don't. Even I'm watching Star Trek as a liberal, sometimes watching, oh my god, they got to stop preaching at me. But Strange New Worlds hasn't really done that, I don't think, a great deal. But Discovery did quite a lot. So it does seem that has already affected decision making over at Paramount. Now, that won't necessarily be Skydance, but obviously the people at Paramount are in constant contact with the people at Skydance, and they want this deal to go through as much as anybody else. So there will be influence. We know as well there's already been things like the head of 60 Minutes resigned, and they actually cited interference from the studio, from the bosses, as her reason for it, or his reason for it, I forget. But that really was a big thing as well at the time, because that was a news story, that was a news organisation basically saying we're being censored for political reasons, and then we're getting rumours that Star Trek is as well. The problem is that obviously this has been delayed, and the longer it's delayed, the more money, in theory, it's going to cost Skydance. They have massive problems they need to sort out. Paramount is not profitable. It's better. It's done better. Things like Top Gun 2, people get excited about Top Gun 3. The Mission Impossible finale is looking like it's going to do really well. But the first part did okay. Paramount Plus is doing really well now. It's actually profitable, and they're really happy with that. But as a company, Skydance need to get in there, and they need to do major surgery. They need to sell large areas of land. They need to sell studio space. They need to upgrade other studio space. There's stuff they've got to get on with to start cutting costs. Even though Paramount as an organisation has already been doing that a great deal, they need to really push on and crack on with that. There's also things creatively they want to get involved in and change. To do that, they need this deal to go through. And the longer it's delayed, the more money they're wasting. That's the way Skydance will see it. We're wasting money because we can't get and get the stuff done we need to get done. I'm being told that they already have looked at legal action if the FCC drag its feet much longer, or, God forbid, decline the merger, which would be difficult. If the FCC did decline it, it wouldn't really be for any reason that they have jurisdiction over. The FCC is supposed to basically look at this is the Federal Communication Commission. Is this deal good for society as a whole? Is it good for the people of America? And that would normally mean, is there going to be a monopoly of some sort? That's really what they're sort of looking at. They do look at foreign ownership. That is one stumbling block, because there is some foreign investment in the Skydance organisation. I think it's Red Kite, I think they're called. And they're a Saudi Arabia investment company. So that could be a negative thing. But actually, Trump quite likes the Middle East. All Saudi Arabia has to do is buy him, a new car to go with his new plane from Qatar, and hey, they'll be on board with it. So I don't think that's going to be a major problem. They would basically be denying it for political reasons, which is really not their remit. It's really not why they're even supposed to be going through this as a regulator. Now, they're still really confident over at Skydance, apparently, that this deal will go through by the end of the summer. So they're saying like a September at the latest, they think. Obviously, this can happen really quickly if there's a breakthrough with the conversations that are constantly going on behind closed doors. But it does look like they're actually still quite early in the process. So now it's looking at maybe towards the end of September. I'm being told that if it's not done by then, that they will be looking at legal action and actually suing the FCC for dragging its feet, or for harming their business through using the power of the office of the FCC for political motivation. The way I see it is Paramount's trying to do what they can do to appease this administration, and they seem to be doing the right things to do so. You could almost argue it's just whose palms you need to grease in this administration to get what you want done. What contract do you need to give to Tesla or something else? But again, I'm slipping into politics, which I'll try not to do too much. So, what do you guys think? Should Skydance already be looking at legal action? Remembering, this is not like when Disney bought Fox, or even when Amazon bought MGM. This isn't two major studios. Skydance is a small company, relatively. It's a small media company. It is not one of the big five studios by any stretch of the imagination. It really isn't a merger of two similar companies. It's really a smaller company buying a much bigger company, and the way it's buying it is also not the usual. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it doesn't really come under sort of like competition laws and things. This should go through very quickly. It's already been delayed. Should Skydance already be considering legal action? Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. As always, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can become a member of the channel, and that way you get to see all of these exclusive videos and exclusive news drops 24 hours sometimes before everybody else. Go check that out. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.